Hi, it's Holly, and I'm here with Lolly the Unicorn, and today we're going to do our virtual design workshop for the full moon. As you know, if you designed with us in 2020, we did a floral design workshop every full moon in Lolly the Unicorn, and we're going to continue that on in 2021 because we've had so much fun with it. We're going to start out by doing them virtually, and you can order the flowers and have them delivered to your home or pick them up and follow along with this video or just have fun. Really, it's just a bit of guidance, a bit of suggestion, but you can have fun with flowers in whatever way you'd like. Today we're going to be designing for the wolf moon, which is January 28th. And the reason it's called the wolf moon is because the wolves tend to howl more this time of year because they're a little bit hungrier and there's not as much food out there. To get started, I'll go over our flowers that we're going to put in Lolly today. We have some green trick dianthus, which kind of almost feels like the fur of a wolf. We have some beautiful roses, and now that it's kind of almost turning to spring, we have some tulips. We also have some beautiful wax flower, and then we will have some variegated pittosporum to hide the oasis floral foam. We also have a little wolf tail that can be included if you desire, and a bit of wire for some added flair. So let's get started. You'll have a piece of floral foam that will have come with your flowers. You'll want to soak it in water for a couple minutes until it's fully absorbed, and then when the time comes, put it into Lolly. I'm just going to push it kind of down, and then take just a knife of any sort. It could even be a butter knife from your kitchen drawer, and just even it out so that we don't have any extra on the top. You'll want to add more water to Lolly, to the vase, so the floral foam can keep absorbing and drinking water. And this acts as something to hold the flowers in place as well as to keep them hydrated. So I'm going to start with the green pittosporum to hide the floral foam. We want to hide our mechanics. So I'm just going to take some snips, and you can see every piece is going to look a little bit different. I always like to cut these in various places to try and get as much out of one stem as I can. So I'm going to kind of cut at the base, and then you can see sometimes there's like a little umbrella up here and a little bit more down there. I'm going to cut these off first and start to insert them around. Okay. So I'm going to make that cut, and we want to make sure that there's a nice clear stem to insert into the oasis. You want it to go in at least an inch or so that it can drink and stay secure. And then I just kind of clear those little leaves off and then pop it in. I start by putting it in the corners of the oasis, and then if there's more space that's needed to be filled or anything like that, I just kind of take a look. It's good to rotate your design as you're working on it so you can see it from all angles and know what area might need to be filled. And so I have the four corners, and I'm just gonna, I think it's probably pretty good, but I'll pop just a little bit more in because I have it. We do want to leave space for our flowers though, but really just kind of inserting around the edge of the oasis to kind of cover up any open space or visibility of the floral foam. Okay, and a little bit left. I'm just going to cut off that little center part, pull it out, and then just tuck the last little bit in by his tail. Wonderful. Okay, so I like to start with my biggest piece first that's going to take up the most space, which is going to be the green trick dianthus. And if you don't know how tall you want to, or the length of the stem that you want to cut off, you can kind of measure it by your vase to give yourself an idea. Remember, you can always cut more off, but you can't add more on. So I'm just going to cut it kind of right at one of those bracts and pop it right there in the center. Perfect. So it kind of creates a little rounded effect and takes up that space in the center. The next flowers that I'm going to insert are going to be the roses. So your roses might have little leaves on them. You can take them off if you want, or you can leave them on. It's absolutely up to you. There's also petals called guard petals, and they protect the flower when it's coming through in transportation and when it's growing. And if you like them, you can leave them on, but oftentimes I'll kind of pull it down and twist it off, just because sometimes they're a little rough looking. So I'm going to take that off, and then I'm going to put one kind of on Lolly's shoulder and one by Lolly's little hip. So again, just kind of measuring about how long I want it, and then inserting it in. You can use your fingers to kind of make some space and find the stems way down to the flower, or to the floral foam. And then here we go. I'm going to pop this one in here too. And again, kind of putting this one a little bit more towards the center, so you can see pretty little Lolly. Now I'm going to take the tulips next. And the fun thing that you're going to notice about the tulips, they're the one flower that when you cut them, they continue to grow. So with that in mind, I'm going to cut them perhaps a little bit shorter so that they continue to grow up and get taller in the arrangement. And I'm going to kind of just space them out around the design. Give it a little cut and kind of find a place where it can show its pretty little face. And again, I'm just kind of pulling the leaf back, giving it a cut, and again, kind of finding another fun space to fill with that pretty tulip. And then we have one more that we're going to do and insert it, again, just kind of to offshoot the pretty roses and pop it in. Great. If you want, you can insert these greens and include them in if you like that look. I don't think I'm going to, but I'm going to leave them there in case I change my mind. So here is our wax flower. And this is really pretty, and even the greens can be fun too. So I'm going to take this. This is just a little piece that broke off, and I'm going to kind of split it and just start to insert it around the design to add a little bit of accent or filler to the rest. So again, remember just to keep turning your design, look at it from all angles, take your different pieces and kind of take a look at them and see where you might want to put them. I'm kind of going more around the edges, but that's okay. And here you go. Again, just kind of turning it, inserting it. And see, this is what I mean. This green of the foliage of the wax flower is very textured and kind of cool. So I'm going to use that too. Just kind of pop it in. You got to make sure that you do get it into the oasis so that it will hold it in place. Again, just continuing on, taking it, inserting it, and kind of just turning it around. Wonderful. I'm going to stick a little bit just kind of right through that green trick dianthus, so it has a little bit that's coming up through the tuft. A little bit more to kind of insert. Might as well use it if I have it. And I think we're good. I'm going to cut some a little bit shorter so it's closer in, and then leave some taller so that they can kind of dance above the design. So isn't that pretty? So bright and springy. Okay, so we have that little tail. If you want it, go for it. I'm going to pop it in the back, make my lolly turn into a wolf for the wolf moon. Cute, you know? And then that last kind of unique bit, this might be new for a lot of us to use. It's a floral design wire, so it's kind of an artistic element. And what I'd recommend doing is just kind of, you know, bending it whatever way you feel. You can try it a few different ways. It's very pliable. And I'm just going to kind of insert it across the design and let it be a unique part that kind of will add some fun flair. And just kind of insert one side and guide it across and insert it into the other side. And there you have it. You can kind of mold it if you want and give it a little lift. But that's kind of fun. So there you go. We have our full wolf moon, and it's always fun to design with you for our fun floral design classes. I hope you're able to watch along order and enjoy.